Think about your own grandmother, an aunt, a favorite teacher. Chances are you can't picture her outfit clearly anymore, but you remember exactly how she smelled when she hugged you. That's the part of a woman people actually keep. Not the trend she was wearing that year, but the scent that quietly became hers. And there's a specific reason some women wear a fragrance that makes people lean in during a hug and ask what it is, while the rest of us are still chasing whatever smells popular this month. Here's what's really at stake. Clothing trends cycle every season and eventually feel dated, no matter how much they cost. A truly great fragrance doesn't do that. It simply becomes part of who you are, and it stays that way for decades. That makes it one of the only investments in your personal style that never actually goes out of style. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which of these 10 to try first, based on the woman you actually want people to remember when you leave a room. Welcome to Timeless Tresses, where elegance never chases a trend. If that's your kind of channel, hit subscribe. Let's walk through these 10 together, slowly, so you can really picture each one on yourself. I promise you'll find at least 2 or 3 that surprise you, and maybe one that brings back a memory you'd completely forgotten about. Scent 1. Chanel No. 5. We have to start with the one that started it all. Sitting on vanity tables since the 1920s, still holding its own today. I understand the instinct to assume something this old must feel dated. What's actually happened is closer to the opposite. Here's the mechanism. It carries a soft, powdery floral note that reads as timeless rather than trendy, built from a careful blend of aldehydes and florals that manages to smell clean and luxurious at once. A harder balance to strike than people realize. The bottle's design has barely changed in over 100 years, because it's never needed to. The fix is patience in how you wear it. Spritz once on the wrist, once behind the ear, and let it settle for a few minutes before you step out. The opening notes are sharper, and the real elegance reveals itself once it warms against your skin. Do it today. A little genuinely goes far here. Many women who wear this daily find a single bottle stretches across a full year of regular use, which makes it far more budget-friendly than the name suggests once you break down the actual cost per wear. There's also a quiet tradition tied to this particular bottle. For generations, it's been the gift daughters give their mothers, the gift a woman treats herself to when she wants to mark a milestone. That kind of legacy isn't something a new launch can manufacture overnight. It has to be earned slowly, one generation at a time, and this one has earned it many times over. Scent 2. Estee Lauder Youth Dew. This one carries a warm, spicy depth that reads as confident and grounded, the kind of scent that lingers on a scarf long after you've left a room. I understand the pull of nostalgia here. A lot of us remember our own mothers wearing this, and there's something comforting about carrying that warmth forward ourselves now. Here's the mechanism. It holds up through the day without needing constant reapplication. A single morning spray can still be faintly present by early evening, and it layers beautifully under a wool coat in colder months, since the fabric holds the scent close all day. It's also affordable and widely available, often found at pharmacy counters and department store sales for a fraction of what newer designer fragrances cost. The fix is looking for it in bath and body sets rather than just the bottle alone. Lotion, powder, and cologne bundled together, which often works out cheaper per ounce, and lets you layer the scent from the shower through your final spray before heading out. Do it today. If you already own a bottle sitting unused, try one spray in the morning before a coat goes on, and notice how present it still is by evening without reapplication. Scent 3. Coco Mademoiselle. Bright fresh, with just enough sweetness to feel youthful without trying too hard. This is the scent for the woman who wants people to feel her energy before they even see her outfit. I understand the instinct to reach for something heavier for daytime, assuming more reads as more polished. This one proves the opposite. Here's the mechanism. A citrus and rose combination makes it feel almost effortless, and it doesn't overwhelm a room the way heavier florals can. It pairs especially well with lighter fabrics like cotton and linen, which let the fragrance move naturally rather than trapping it close to the skin. The fix is keeping a smaller travel size in your handbag specifically for touch-ups after lunch, since it refreshes easily without becoming overpowering even with a second light spray. Do it today. Wear this one for a daytime outing, lunch with friends, a walk through the market, rather than saving it for evening, since daytime is exactly where it performs best. Scent 4. Lancôme Trésor. This one wraps around you like a soft blanket, rose and peach blended with something warmer underneath, giving it a cozy, elegant feeling. I understand the assumption that a fragrance popular decades ago might feel dated today. What actually surprises most women trying it again is how comforting and how current it still feels. Here's the mechanism. There's a softness to the dry down, the way it settles into a gentle warmth after the first hour, making it feel like a hug rather than a statement, which is part of why it's stayed a favorite across generations in the same household. It suits quiet evenings just as well as family gatherings, and daughters have been known to steal a bottle from their mother's dresser more than once, which might be the highest compliment a fragrance can receive. The fix, if you want it to last even longer through the day, is layering. Apply an unscented or lightly scented lotion first, then the perfume on top. This helps the fragrance bond with your skin rather than evaporating quickly, and it works especially well for a scent like this one that thrives on warmth. Do it today if you have an old bottle of this tucked away. Try it again after the lotion layering trick before deciding it belongs in the past. Scent 5, Guerlain Shalimar. This is a bold one, and it's not for the woman who wants to blend into the background. Let me tell you a quick story about this one. A friend of mine wore it to a family dinner years ago, and half the table asked what it was before dessert arrived, while one relative pulled a face and needed a second encounter before she came around to it entirely. That divide is actually part of the point. A fragrance everyone agrees on instantly rarely stands out. One that sparks real opinions tends to be the one people remember for years afterward. Here's the mechanism. Vanilla, citrus, and something smoky underneath make this feel like a signature rather than just a scent, opening bright and citrusy before slowly settling into something warmer and richer. It's best worn in the evening when cooler air gives it room to breathe without competing against sunlight and heat. This fragrance was actually inspired by a love story about devotion so deep it built gardens. You can almost feel that history in the way it unfolds. The fix is restraint in application. A single spray at the base of the throat is often all it takes for this one to carry through an entire dinner party. Do it today. Save this one specifically for an evening occasion rather than a daytime errand, and notice how differently it unfolds in cooler air. Scent 6, Jean Patou Joy. Once called the most expensive perfume in the world, this one carries a rich, layered floral bouquet that feels genuinely luxurious. It was created during a difficult economic period with the intention of bringing a little happiness back into daily life, and the name still tells you exactly what to expect. I understand the assumption that most expensive must mean out of reach. Smaller bottles and travel sizes have made this far more accessible than the reputation suggests. Here's the mechanism. Rose and jasmine sit at the heart of it, blended so densely that even a small amount fills a room the moment you walk in, which is exactly why a single spray goes such a long way, making even a modest bottle last for years of special moments. The fix is treating it the way you'd treat a fine piece of jewelry, reserved specifically for anniversaries, holidays, or gatherings that deserve it, rather than everyday wear. There's nothing wrong with that approach. Saving something special for special moments can make those moments feel even more meaningful. Do it today. If you've been saving a special occasion bottle for someday, pick the next real occasion on your calendar and actually wear it. Scent 7, quick one, Clinique Aromatics Elixir. This one's fast because its whole identity is distinctiveness. It has an earthy, herbal depth, not sweet, not fruity, simply sophisticated, closer to a walk through a garden after rainfall than a typical floral. It genuinely stands apart from everything else on this list, which is exactly why the women who wear it tend to wear nothing else. It becomes part of their identity rather than another bottle on the shelf. Just be prepared. Once people associate this scent with you specifically, they'll notice immediately the rare time you wear something different. Scent 8, Elizabeth Arden Red Door. Bold florals with a sense of drama. This one was made for the woman who walks into a room fully present. The name comes from the iconic red door of Elizabeth Arden's original salon, a symbol of glamour the fragrance was built to match. I understand the instinct to assume drama requires a designer price tag. This one offers that instantly recognizable elegance without carrying one. Here's the mechanism. Layers of lily, rose, and jasmine feel intentionally dramatic rather than delicate, making it a wonderful choice for evenings out or holiday parties. Most people simply can't tell the difference between this and a far more expensive designer floral once it's actually on skin. It photographs well too, in the sense that people remember the impression long after the party's ended. The fix is confidence in the application itself, since that's genuinely the finishing touch this fragrance is built around. Do it today. Wear it to your next evening occasion, instead of reaching for whatever designer bottle you'd normally default to, and see if anyone notices the difference. Scent 9. Coco Mademoiselle Intense. A richer, deeper version of the classic from earlier on this list. This one leans into warmth while still feeling appropriate for everyday wear. I understand the instinct to think a deeper version means a narrower use case. This one actually works across more seasons than the original, not fewer. Here's the mechanism. It keeps the same bright citrus opening but adds a much deeper, longer-lasting base underneath. Light enough for spring afternoons, warm enough to hold its own against a chilly autumn evening. Many women find this single bottle can replace 2 or 3 others in their collection, simply because it adapts so well depending on how much they apply. The fix, if someone compliments it, is a simple line: tell them it's a deeper version of a classic, and watch recognition cross their face, since most people already know the original by name, even if they can't quite place the scent itself. Do it today. If you already love the original Mademoiselle, try this one for an evening this week and notice how differently the same base performs after dark. Scent 10. Dior J'adore. We're ending on one that feels like liquid gold, both in color and in how it makes you feel. The bottle itself was designed to resemble a golden torso, and the fragrance inside lives up to that same sense of celebration. Here's the mechanism. Ylang ylang, rose, and jasmine blend together in a way that feels polished without ever feeling stiff. Often described as sunshine in a bottle, and once you wear it on a bright morning, you'll understand exactly why. It works just as well for a Tuesday grocery run as it does for a birthday dinner, which is part of what makes it such a versatile addition to any collection. The fix is simply not saving this one exclusively for special occasions. It's built for everyday celebration, not just milestone moments. Do it today. Wear it on the most ordinary day you have this week, specifically because it wasn't designed to be rationed. How to build a rotation instead of just picking one. Now that you've seen all 10, here's the part almost nobody explains. You don't have to choose just one of these and wear it for the rest of your life. Think about the shape of your actual week instead. A daytime scent for errands and lunches, something like Coco Mademoiselle or J'adore, that won't overwhelm a room or compete with sunlight. An evening scent for dinners and occasions that call for a little more presence, like Shalimar or Red Door, where richness has room to unfold in cooler air. And one true special occasion bottle, something like Joy, reserved specifically for the moments that deserve it. An anniversary, a milestone, a holiday gathering. This isn't about owning 10 bottles at once. It's about understanding that a single fragrance was never meant to do every job in your week, the same way a single dress or a single pair of shoes couldn't either. 2 or 3, chosen deliberately, will always outperform one bottle asked to be everything to everyone. And there's a practical side to this too. Rotating between a small number of scents means each one stays a little more distinctive to the people who know you, rather than becoming so constant it fades into the background of your own presence, the way any single thing eventually can when it's never varied at all. How to actually wear and store these. A few things worth knowing regardless of which of these 10 you choose. Always test on your own skin rather than trusting a paper strip. Body chemistry changes everything, and a fragrance that's incredible on your best friend might smell completely different, sometimes even better, on you. Apply to pulse points. Wrist, behind the ears, base of the throat, since warmth in those areas releases fragrance gradually through the day. And remember that less is often more. A confident, elegant woman doesn't need to be smelled from across the room the moment she walks in. She needs to be remembered after she's already left it. That subtlety is what separates a truly elegant scent from one that simply tries too hard. Season matters more than most women realize. Lighter, citrus-forward scents like Mademoiselle or J'adore shine brightest in spring and summer, when the warmth of the air already carries fragrance further, and heavier notes can feel too intense against the heat. Richer scents like Shalimar or Youth Dew come alive in the colder months, when cool air needs something warmer to cut through it. Wearing the right scent for the right season is a small detail, but it's exactly the kind of small detail that separates a woman who simply sprays something on in the morning from one who actually understands fragrance as part of her personal style. Storage matters too, more than people realize. Perfume doesn't last forever once opened, and heat, sunlight, and humidity are its biggest enemies. Keep your bottles away from the bathroom windowsill or a vanity table sitting directly under a lamp. A cool, dark drawer or closet shelf will keep any of these scents fresh for years longer than leaving them exposed to daily sunlight ever will. Notice what all 10 of these have in common. None of them are chasing a trend. They're confident, timeless, and unapologetically themselves, which honestly sounds a lot like the woman wearing them. If you're unsure where to start, think about the woman you want people to remember when you leave a room. Do you want them to remember someone soft and comforting, someone bold and unforgettable, or someone bright and full of energy? Let that answer guide you, because the best fragrance was never the most expensive one or the most popular one. It's simply the one that feels most like you the moment you put it on. If this helped you think about your own signature scent differently, hit like and subscribe. I've got a lot more of this coming every week. And tell me in the comments, which of these 10 are you most excited to try?